Right, okay people, some people from my page have asked me to do just a quick video on face putty, really, just so they can see how it's done and any hints and tips. So just do a quick one. Here's some putty, linseed oil, multi-purpose, whatever you want to call it. There's several different types. This is the one I prefer personally. Doesn't have to have any binary agent put in with it. It just goes in and works, and it's been around for years. So what we do, we knock it up, just as you can see I'm doing, in the same way as you kind of knead bread, really. Just keep working it and working it until it gets nice and smooth. Right, now if there's one thing I'll say, people, if you find any lumps in it, always check it like this with your fingers. If you find any lumps in it, any at all, get rid of them like that, right there. Get that gone, because as soon as you try and face, your knife will grab it and it will pull it right the way across the face, and it will absolutely do your head in. So please, if there's one thing, listen to me on that one. Make sure you do. Now I wear gloves because the linseed oil affects my skin, so I do wear gloves, and I would, I suppose, recommend people to wear gloves in case they have got any allergies. It just means it's not going to happen. So get it as mixed up as possible. You can apply a bit of heat to this. The warmer the putty is, the easier it is to face, so you can apply heat to it. However, be careful doing that, because you'll get it hot, and then when you pick it up it will burn your fingers. So I personally don't add heat to it. I just make sure I do a lot of work, with it, and that gets it normally sufficiently warm enough to face. So once it's to a nice consistency, it should just be lovely and smooth. You shouldn't have any lumps in it, and it should just be lovely and workable. Now, so that's the putty. So we've got a facing knife. This is a bowler facing knife. See, our Lawrence do one as well. I hear a lot of people, oh, my granddad used to use the lid of a tin can to do his facing. Just, if you're going to do this, just buy a proper facing knife. As you can see, it's lovely and smooth. This one's got a slight curve to it. There are some that are curved, some that are straight. It's just what I like. Just get a decent one. You can't go wrong. Then we've got a brush for brushing it off. So we'll just back the frame off. Now I'm using silicone on this because the frame is nice and straight, so it's not an issue to use it. You can, if you want to be completely traditional, use back it off with putty as well. That's entirely up to you, really, but personally I think if the frame's straight, then just use a bit of silicone. So we'll just back the frame off. Just a nice bead. If it does overspill, which it does sometimes, just run it in. Okay. Then we grab a glass. Bring that over. Now inside we'll put a packer under. People who are used to glazing will know this is called toe and healing. It's always best to do these types of sashes, just to keep the weight off of it a little bit. Okay, just set it back. Right, now if you're backing up with just putty, then make sure that you nail it off with a sprig gun. But if you're backing it up with silicone, then there's really no need. I mean, you can if you want to, I suppose, but there's really no need. Get rid of any excess silicone that might have come out. And this is the difficult bit. This is what people tend to struggle with. slide another packer in there. Here we go. There he is. Right, this is a bit that people struggle with. So, push it at the corner with your thumb, let it rest on your fingers, and push your thumb along. And once you get good at this, you can go quicker and quicker. But if there's one thing I'll say, the neater you do this, the neater you'll get your face. All right. So again, just hold it with your fingers, keep it up on top of your knuckles, and then use this thumb, and then as you can see, just push it into the rebate as you're running your finger along. Okay. I would normally do this with one big lump. It just gets in the way then, and it stops people from being able to see what I'm doing. Now your dominant hand you'll always find easier, so my left as the case is, but you've got to learn to do it with your right as well, unfortunately, because as you can see I'm not as quick with my right hand, because you can't, unless you want to turn the frame over, which is just a pain in the ass moving it around. It's always good, and you can't do that if it's in situ, so it's always good to learn with both hands. So the tops are always the trickiest because it wants to fall away from you. So again, we've got a bit of paint in there. Where that come from? Don't try and do too much at one go. The bigger lump you have, the more difficult it is to control. Now that is pretty much what you want it looking like. So you grab your facing knife, we'll just get rid of that bit of paint. That will give me a problem. Now, make sure you get the face nice and clean and nice and shiny. Shiny is the better it'll work around. So you've got your top piece. Now I always start from this top corner because I'm left hand dependent. If you were right hand, you'd probably start from this corner, but either makes no difference. Now what I do, go in at the corner there, push back and turn until you know your face is about right, and then keep in pressure. Just slowly come down with the knife. Now as you get good at it, you'll be able to go faster, but for a start just keep it nice and steady. And as you get to the bottom, just turn your knife out. Now this is the important bit. Go into the corner and then slide it straight out diagonal, and then that way you form your corner at the same time. Go in there, flick it up, take that runner putty off. There pretty much is a face. And then what we do then at the top, just run that across, do the same. You can see that it was trying to pull, does that sometimes. And just slowly run it along. Diagonal. And as you can see here, it had a go at pulling. It does that sometimes. If it starts getting that a lot, add a little bit of water, or a little bit of something to the end of your knife just to lubricate it a little bit. But we're not going to worry about it too much. So go into the glass, up to your face, push along into the corner, turn your knife, and then just come straight down. Like I say, I'm doing this slowly. There you go, see, now that's what happens when you get a lump. That happens. You don't want it happening. So go in, marry it back up, and then just slowly work that face down. Again, when you get to the bottom, turn your knife out, go into the bottom, and slide off. Now back to this bottom corner, go in, form your corner, run your knife across. turn your corner, come out. Now if you do it this way, you only have to form one corner. It just makes life a lot easier. So go in with your knife and just stab it straight back, nip it off. And then all I do is go back into this corner and just run the face back up slightly. And there you go. And then we use a brush, nice soft bristle. And just give it a little brush across. A little bit of silicone come out, but it's not too bad. And there we go. Pretty much that's it. Peace out.